Hello everyone and welcome back to our JavaScript journey. In our previous sessions, we started exploring the building blocks of JavaScript. Today, we're going to dive deeper and learn about something super important, operators. We'll also figure out how JavaScript decides which calculations to do first when we combine different operators. It's going to be fun and we'll keep it simple, I promise. So, what exactly is an operator? Think of operators as action words in JavaScript. They let us perform actions on our data, like numbers, strings, and more. We can use them to do math, compare things, and even combine pieces of text. JavaScript has many types of operators, but today we'll focus on the most common ones: arithmetic, assignment, and comparison operators. And then we'll unravel the mystery of operator precedence. Let's start with the ones you probably already know a little bit about. Arithmetic operators. These are your tools for doing math. Imagine you're running a small online store selling digital art. Let's say you sold a few prints today. We can use JavaScript to calculate your earnings. First, let's say one print costs $15. As you can see here, we've created a variable for that. Const print price equals to 15. Now, let's say you sold 4 prints. In these lines, we define print sold and then calculate the total earnings using the multiplication operator, which is the star symbol. As you can see, const total earnings equals to print price multiplied by print sold semicolon. If we were to check total earnings, it would be 60 because 15 times 4 is 60. But if you want to offer a $5 discount on the total, we use the subtraction operator. This line calculates the new total. As you can see, const final earnings equals to total earnings minus 5, semicolon. Now, final earnings would be 55. We also have other key arithmetic operators, addition. For example, if you wanted to add an initial setup fee of $10, you can define a variable named setup fee that equals to 10. Then, final price with fee equals to final earnings plus setup fee. That plus sign is actually addition operator. Final price with fee would become 65. Division. To divide numbers, let's say we want to split the final earnings 55 between two partners. This line does just that. As you can see, earnings per partner equals to final earnings divided by 2. This would give each partner $27.50. Exponentiation. To raise a number to a power. For example, if you wanted to calculate 3 to the power of 4, we can do this. As you can see, result equals to 3. You have to put here 2 star symbols. And after that, we put 4. Result would be 81. Arithmetic operators are just like the math you already know, but for our code. Now, we also saw the plus operator. It's special because it can do 2 things. It adds numbers, but it can also join or concatenate strings. Look at this example. We declared greeting equals to hello and username to code explorers. And the full message equals to greeting plus username plus exclamation mark. Here, the plus operator isn't adding numbers. It's linking the strings together. Full message would become hello code explorers exclamation at the end. Let's talk about assignment operators. The most basic one is the equal sign. We've already been using it. When we have const print price equals to 15, we are assigning the value 15 to the variable print price. The equal sign is the assignment operator doing its job. But there are some handy shortcuts. Imagine you have a score in a game and you want to add points to it. Here we've initialized play score to 100 using let, because the score will change. So, as you can see, play score equals to 100. Now, if the player scores 50 more points, we could write it the long way, as shown here. Player score equals to player score plus 50. Player score would now be 150. But we can do this shorter by using the plus equal operator, as you can see in this line. We can write player score plus equal 15. This does exactly the same thing. It means take the current value of player score, add 50 to it, and then assign the result back to player score. It's just quicker to type. This works for other arithmetic operators too. Minus equal. This subtracts and assigns. If we wanted to decrease player score by 20, we can write player score minus equal 20. Star equal multiplies and assigns. Let's say we want to double the player score. We can write player score star equal 2. Now player score is 260. Division and equal. This divides and assigns. If you want to have the player score, we can write player score division operator equal 2. Now player score is 130. There are also plus plus and minus minus. These are super simple. Plus plus increases a value by 1. If we wanted to add just 1 point to our player score, which we know currently 130, we can write player score plus plus. Now player score is 131. Minus minus decreases a value by 1. If we wanted to remove 1 point, we can write player score minus minus. Now, player score is back to 130. Easy, right? These shortcuts are very common in JavaScript code. Now let's move to comparison operators. These are crucial because they help our code make decisions. They compare two values and give us back a Boolean value. Remember those? They are either true or false. Let's imagine we're checking if a user is old enough to enter a site. The minimum age is 18. Here, we set up the variables and perform the check. As you can see, we declared user age 25 and minimum age to 18. And now for is old enough, we're using the greater than or equal to operator. We're asking is the user age greater than or equal to the minimum age. Since 25 is greater than 18, the value of is old enough will be true. If user age was 17, is old enough would be false. Greater than. It asks is one value strictly bigger than another. As you can see, price A is 100 and price B 99 and is more expensive using greater than operator to see if it's true or false. And it's true here. Less than operator. It asks is one value strictly smaller than another. Temp room equals to 21 and temp ideal equals to 23. And is too cold compares temp room and temp ideal with less than operator. And it's true. Less than or equal to checks if it's smaller or the same. As you can see, we declared here items in cart equals to 5 and max items equals to 5. And now we want to, if we can, check out. So we use less than or equal to operator here. Items in cart less than or equal to max items? Yeah, then can check out is true. We use this a lot. We want our code to do different things based on certain conditions. Okay, so we've seen a few different types of operators, but what happens when we mix them in one line? For example, look at this line. Let's result equals to 10 plus 5 multiply by 2. Does JavaScript do 10 plus 5 first and then 15 multiply 2? Or does it do 5 multiplied by 2 first and then 10 plus 10? This is where operator precedence comes in. It's like the rules in math, that tell you the order in which to perform operations. JavaScript has its own set of rules. In JavaScript, multiplication has a higher precedence than addition. This means JavaScript will always do the multiplication first. So in our example, 5 multiplied by 2 is done first, and then 10 plus 10 is done. So result will be 20. And now there's a question. How do you know these rules? Well, you don't need to memorize them all. There's a great resource called MDN Web Docs. If you search for MDN operator precedence, you'll find a table that lists all JavaScript operators and their precedence value. Higher numbers mean higher precedence. They get done first. You'll see that multiplication and division usually come before addition and subtraction. Assignment operators, just like equals to or plus equal, and usually have very low precedence, meaning they happen last, which makes sense. We usually want to calculate the full value before assigning it to a variable. Now, but what if we want the addition to happen first? What if we really wanted the result to be 30 in our example? We can change the natural order using parentheses. Just like in math, anything inside parentheses is calculated first, no matter what its precedence is. Parentheses have the highest precedence. So if we look at this code, let result equals to, using parentheses 10 plus 5, then multiply by 2. Now JavaScript sees the parentheses, says, oh, I have to do what's inside here first. So it calculates 10 plus 5, which is 15. Then it does the multiplication, 15 multiplied by 2, which gives us 30. Using parentheses is a great way to make sure your calculations happen in the order you intend. And it also makes your code easier for other people and your future self to read and understand, because it clearly shows your intention. Alright guys, that was a lot, but these operators are the heart of how we manipulate data and make things happen in JavaScript. In our next video, we'll take these concepts and put them into practice. We'll explore how these operators work in real code examples and see their results in the browser console. It will really help solidify everything we talked about today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next lesson. See you in the next video.